Back cage side, I'm Vince Ferrara along with Adam Primetime Townsend and Casey Oxendine. Our first pro bout this is an all-pro card here tonight. It's Randy Stamey at 0-2 versus Tim Boyle at 0-1. And we've got an unbelievable night of fights. And let's start out and talk about Randy Stamey and Casey. Randy is someone that Valor Fight fans very familiar with.
Yeah, very exciting fighter. Of course, you know, Randy Stamey, he's 0-2, but he always puts on a very, very exciting performance. As an amateur, he was very highly regarded. And, you know, it's exciting to see him go against Tim Boyle, who recently lost a tough fight down in Chattanooga in his debut. This is a guy that's been around for a long time. So this is very interesting. Although the records don't reflect it, this is going to be a tremendous fight.
All right, well, tell us a little bit about this matchup in your opinion, Adam.
Yeah, Casey hit the nail on the head, really, what I talked about, with especially with Randy. You know, Randy is trained at a striker. It's called striker, you know, and he trains at a gym that does primarily striking. They have, you know, decent jiu-jitsu, but I look for Tim. You know, both of Randy's losses have come from, you know, submission. So I look for, you know, Tim to go out there and try to, you know, get the fight to the ground, try to get a quick submission out of Randy. But Randy, he throws some heat when he throws punches. It ain't like he's going to be just, you know, going out there and get an easy takedown. It's going to be tough for him to get that.
Well, prime time is we're going to go to the cage here in 1 second, and I think we're ready to go. Let's go back to the cage and our cage announcer, Cody Gwynn.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to get going tonight. Before we get started, let you know all your professional bouts tonight are sanctioned by the Tennessee State Athletic Commission and Commissioner Jeff Mullins. Tonight's fights will be 3 5-minute rounds. Tonight, your judges cage side are Neil Frawworth, Thomas Brooks, and Antonio Hinton. When the action begins, your referee in charge of these bouts tonight will be Jimmy Neely. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, are you ready for your first pro fight of the night? We're ready to get things started. We're going to open things up in the professional lightweight division, brought to you by Your Choice Labs. Please welcome to the cage first, fighting out of the red corner, Randy Stamey.
On his way to the cage is Randy, the real deal Stamey, fighting out of Striker MMA in Bristol, Virginia, here in our first bout. All pro bouts tonight, 3 5-minute rounds. This will be a 155-pound lightweight bout, and bout number 1 is brought to you by Your Choice Labs LLC. And Adam, let's talk about, we'll get back to Randy here in 1 second, but let's talk about the card overall and what you think of what we've got in store tonight for fans with this all-pro bout.
I see so many incredible matchups. That's the thing that Tim Lloyd's really done with this pro card, is everybody on this card is very equally matched. So there's no fights out here that you're going to see unless somebody just does something we're not used to or something we're not expecting. All these fights will be very, very competitive tonight.
And Casey, what do you think about the card overall? All pro, as big as it's ever been.
Well, man, each one of these fights could be a main event on any typical Pro-Am card. I mean, you're talking about the main event, Fisher and Gallegos. That's one that's like a highlight reel anywhere you serve it. But then on top of that, you got Kennedy, you got JSP and Morgan. All these fights are really going to give the fans what they pay for.
Exactly.
Randy Stamey, as he prepares to enter the cage tonight, is at 0-2. His most recent bout, Stamey lost in Apex Fights 5 to Stephen New, which was a terrific bout.
Yeah.
And then prior to that, a loss to Billy Mullins at Valor Fights 16.
Yeah.
What is going to be the game plan for Randy Stamey tonight?
First of all, I love Randy Stamey's style. You know, he's over here singing, he's over here dancing. He's going to get in this cage. He's going to bring a lot of energy in the cage. That's one thing that you got to say about Randy, is he brings energy into the cage. But as far as it goes, the main game plan for him tonight is to get that TKO or that knockout. You know, I don't see him submitting Tim. That's going to be what Tim tries to do to him. But like I said, he's got to go out there and he's got to, you know, show his striking and keep off his back. 30-year-old
Randy Stamey enters the cage here at Valor Fights 23 in Pigeon Forge. Back to Cody Gwynn.
And fighting tonight out of the blue corner, please welcome Tim Boyle.
All right, Casey, tell us a little bit about Tim Boyle, who is coming in at 0-1 in his MMA career.
Man, Tim Boyle, one of those guys from the IMB Academy there, Chad Blaylock. He's been around for many years. I've seen this guy for 10 years or better fighting on the amateur circuit. You know, he made his pro debut last March down in Chattanooga. He took that loss, but I'll tell you this, the one thing that Boyle has is a tremendous ground discipline. And I think that he's going to try to bring that in, and he's going to have to really get through the hands of Randy Stamey in this contest.
A lot of experience for Boyle on the amateur level. There's a look at our tail of the tape. 37-year-old Tim Boyle, 7 years older than Randy Stamey. Stamey with the advantage in height at 6 feet to Tim Boyle's 5'9", and both fighters weighed in at 154.4 in this 155-pound lightweight bout as Tim Boyle gets ready to enter the cage. Power advantage for Boyle, you think, Casey?
Man, I'll tell you what, like I said, I would say ground advantage for Boyle, standing advantage for Stamey, because Stamey comes to bang.
Back to the cage and Cody Wynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening fight here tonight at Valor Fights 23 is brought to you by Your Choice Labs and will be in the lightweight division. When the action begins, your referee in charge of this bout is Jimmy Neely. Introducing first, fighting out of the Hogs red corner. Tonight he brings in a pro record with 0 wins and 2 losses. He weighed in 154 pounds. Fighting out of Striker MMA in Bristol, Virginia, the real deal, Randy Stamey. Standing across the cage, fighting tonight out of the OEB blue corner. He brings in a pro record of 0 wins with 1 defeat. He weighed in 154 pounds. Fighting out of Blaylock's IMB in Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, Tim Boyle.
And we're ready to go as our referee is giving the final instructions to the two fighters in this 155-pound lightweight bout. It's a rematch of a kickboxing meeting between these two. Both fighters in the black trunks, green trim for Randy Stamey, yellow trim for Tim Boyle from Chattanooga, and we're underway. Quick kick.
Wow.
Randy Stamey also the southpaw in this fire here, like you said, the green shorts there, and he caught a little bit of a hard kick and a headbutt, it seemed like, on the way in. Might even have a hematoma already.
Tell you what, Boyle closing the distance quick, getting on those hips. He knows what's up right here in this fight. He wants to get it to the ground where he is confident.
And as we talked about before, Stamey's doing a very, very good job at keeping that whizzer on that right hand and using a crossface or an underhook on the left side to keep the takedown from being made.
Can hear Stamey's corner wanting him to try to get out of that position along the cage, and he does get off momentarily, but back against with the pressure from Boyle.
You can almost feel that nervous energy that you get in the first 30 or 45 seconds of a fight. And both of these guys, you know that they're ready for anything to happen. Once things cool off, you'll start to see these guys settle in a little bit
and open
more.
up a little bit more in their striking as well as techniques, punch striking techniques against the cage too.
1 minute.
Nice elbow.
1 minute into the first round of our first bout, all pro bouts here at Valor Fights 23 from Pigeon Forge.
See, Randy's had the underhook there, and all he needed to do is turn to his left and circle off the cage. I don't know why he's allowing himself to be held against the cage. It's one of the worst things you can have happen to you, because you're either going to get punched or you're going to get taken down. You're not winning the fight there at all.
Quick elbow from Boyle connected to Stamey's left side of his head. There's that spin you're looking for.
There we go.
Watch his back getting taken, or the sweep.
Stamey needs to go ahead and transition to that whizzer with his left arm to ensure he doesn't get his back taken.
Yeah.
But now he's against the cage.
You're exactly right. He just takes that and goes palm down and turns in there. He can get an underhook. Now he's got one under, I believe.
Now this is something that's interesting. You see Boyle, he's really working that clinch, trying to hold on to it with all he's got. That could work against him later on if he wears himself out, because he hasn't seemed to be able to get any progress there with the takedown.
I agree, and the thing that Boyle is doing wrong, we'll talk about that if he goes back to the cage again.
Yeah, for the first time we see that since the start of the bout, the two are in the middle of the cage.
Ooh, big head kick.
Missed on that.
Randy's doing a good job of coming forward right here. He's not being backed up no more. Check that inside leg kick, it looked like.
Stamey in the black trunk to the green trim, Boyle in the black with the yellow trim.
One thing I don't like with Boyle,
Ooh,
if you'll watch his lead,
good left hand
wow.
and a right hand.
Boyle stunned, and he's able to get Stamey along the cage.
Beautiful. He needs to separate and bang like he was just doing. let go of the clinch, push off, and bang, right, Casey?
Yeah, and Boyle seems to be a little unsteady on his feet. I saw him out in the middle, and it seemed like his lead leg was locking out a little bit.
He's going for the guillotine. He just needs to abandon that. I don't think he's got it and go for, working on the defending the takedown again.
Boyle had a hold of Stamey's shorts, but a referee did not see it as he's on the other side of it and allowed him to hang on and adjust his position.
Yeah.
Under 2 minutes left in this first round.
Let me tell you what Bull needs to do to complete this takedown. That was right there was pretty much it. But the thing that Bull's not doing good right now is what I like to see him do is use head pressure. The top of his head needs to be under the chin of Randy Stamey. If he was doing that, Randy would not want to be against the cage. Randy's comfortable here right now. He's using knees and elbows and punches.
Big right hand by Randy Stamey.
Yeah.
The knee connected and then a combination from Stamey.
Randy is tearing him up on the feet.
Yeah, big shots there. Beautiful combination by Randy Stamey.
He's slapping him with those punches. Looks like some Nick Diaz punches right there, don't it? Some good punches right there.
Minus
I like that.
the trash talk.
Yeah. He ain't flipped him the bird yet.
There we go. Boyle doing what he has to do. He needs to keep it dirty just like this. Get inside and look for that takedown because, as I see it, Randy Stamey's ahead already in this round.
He needs to get that under. He needs to get a whizzer. And he also, like I said, if Tim Boyle would use that head pressure out there, Randy would not want to be against the cage.
1 minute left in round
Beautiful
number
switch.
1. We've had a shift in momentum and advantage throughout this first round. Back to the center of the cage and see if someone can steal this first round.
Big unorthodox.
And again, keep an eye on Tim Boyle's lead leg, how it locks out there. If he locks out at the precise moment that Randy Stamey moves forward, it's bad news. He has no mobility when he does that.
Beautiful kick from Stamey.
Dang right. Oh, spinning back punch.
Spinning back fist out of nowhere by Tim Boyle.
We're throwing spinning stuff now, apparently.
And both have eaten some shots, but still right back in the middle of the cage.
This is going to be a hard round to score for the judges.
Yeah, and it's turned out to be a very fun fight.
A kick-punch trade between the two. 15 seconds left in round number 1. And both with the feints. And then both tried to connect on
again, when Tim Boyle locks out that lead foot, if Randy Stamey were to commit on that right hand, it's his every single time.
You talk about an entertaining start to our nights.
Most definitely.
Prime time, you said it would be tough to score. What do you think? Who would you give round 1 to?
Man, I've always been more of the grinder wrestler guy that likes to score that. I like to score center position, and I like to score aggressiveness. Even though Randy may have won a little bit more of the striking battle, he was on defense a lot more of the battle against the cage. So I'm going to go with Tim on this first round.
Okay. Casey, what do you think?
I'm going to give it to Stamey. I like the strikes that he landed and the movement that he was doing. And Tim Boyle was unable to get the takedown, to secure the takedown ultimately. So I'm going to get a very close margin. I'm going to give it to Randy Stamey.
One of the great things that Valor Fights did this time is on the website, valorfights.com. And it's growing. It's live with pay-per-view and fighter predictions this time and breakdowns on each of the fights here coming in. And a number of our experts made predictions on all the bouts. Josh Cate, Will Bulldog, Adam Townsend all going with Boyle in this bout. Roy Sanders went with Stamey. So Boyle, the favorite for most of our analysts going into this fight.
Well, he's the veteran fighter. I mean, he's been around a long time, but that doesn't always match up. As it's shown in the past, he had a disappointing loss recently. So if that's still in his head, that definitely factors in.
And the first round was so close that each of you had a different viewpoint from the scoring standpoint, and we're underway here in round number 2.
And I think because of that, I think each corner, each of their coaches need to be looking at it that way and thinking that they need to finish the second and third very strong.
What would you tell Casey if you're in Stamey's corner? What would be your instructions to Randy here?
I would continue to stay moving, move around. Don't stay still, because as soon as he does, Tim Boyle moves forward, and there it is. He's accomplished a takedown right here.
Adam, our first takedown.
Yeah, this is where Randy does not want to be this fight, because Tim is very, very, you can tell, he looks like the bigger, heavier fighter. He probably put on a little bit more weight than Randy has, and Randy has been known, he's lost 2 fights by submission, and being on his back is not where he wants to be.
And Randy needs to get that, exactly. That left arm needs to not be across the side of Tim Boyle's head, because I've known Tim Boyle, I've seen him a long time, and that arm triangle is one of his techniques of choice.
Tim Boyle, last time out, lost to Zach Cook in a TKO on strikes. And a very extensive amateur career as well. 37 years old. Very well rounded.
I consider myself to be pretty decent on the ground, and Casey Oxendine is, in my eyes, the world best I've ever trained with on the ground. And what Randy's not doing right here that he should be doing is getting an underhook with his left arm. It's across the head, and it's not under the armpit that I can. Yeah, it's across the head right there. It needs to be under his right armpit. If he had his left arm under Tim's right armpit, it'd help out a lot. But now he's trying to recover his guard, which is not as good as standing back up, but you're going to take a lot less damage there. Good elbow there from Tim.
And Boyle hasn't really been able to advance. He's hitting on some ground and pound. Hadn't been able to advance. He looked like he was trying to get side control, but hadn't been able to get there as of yet.
Well, he's staying busy, and that's going to probably be enough to avoid the stand-up. So that puts the ball in Randy Stamey's court. He's really needs to stand up. That closed guard position is not going to be quite as effective as standing up and actually implementing his striking skills. And that's what we need to see out of Randy Stamey. At least get those feet on the hip, try to get some distance.
Away. Push, and let him up.
There we go.
Big mistake from Tim, in my opinion. Tim was doing work and landing damage right there, winning the round. He shouldn't let Stamey up. Stamey wasn't getting up on his own.
And I don't believe our referee called for that.
No, he pushed away, and Tim just let him stay up.
Oh. And I hope Boyle's okay. That was awkward.
Looked like a little trip.
Look at a little trip right there. I don't think the kick landed. I think he kind of checked a little bit of it, honestly.
Look at Randy's face, a little bit flushed. You see that whenever the nerves hit a little bit, maybe a little bit of anxiety, and it looks like maybe he hit the ground and he felt that, but now he seems to have really turned it back
Good right
up.
hand back from Tim right there, though, in the exchange. Randy's throwing wild, loopy punches, and Tim's come with the straights in those exchanges. And Randy's landing, 3 or 4 more, but in the long run, Tim's getting the harder punch right there at the end.
And Randy is connected with a couple of left leg head kicks with that left, and that set up a right straight through afterwards.
Tim Boyle showing a little bit of fatigue there.
Yep.
I don't know if he might have a knee problem or fatigue.
I just saw him nod a little bit. He's, that's a bad sign for a fighter.
Knocked his mouthpiece out a little bit there.
I wonder if he's got a knee issue. He can't put his full weight on.
I'm trying to keep an eye on it too, like you said. Oh, go, gosh.
There we go. That's a big shot right there by Tim Boyle.
2 big right hands.
Stamey is stunned.
That was a short right uppercut, and it landed right on the butt of Randy Stamey.
This is not where he wants to be.
Full
mount. Now he's off the cage. Look for Randy to use the cage to push off. Those punches are still landing hard.
Yeah, he's got just over a minute to survive this round.
Once you push on the face and throw an elbow right here, this is what's coming.
That elbow is close. A minute left. Can Randy Stamey hang on and get to round 3?
Oh, these are big shots. These are big shots.
Another
Jimmy Neely looking close at this one.
Randy's doing a good job though. He's not took a lot of damage. He's doing a job. He's holding controlling the arms, but he needs to be controlling the hips of Tim.
Randy Stamey trying to
speak out the back door. He comes out the back.
Wow, beautiful
what exchange!
Beautiful move by Randy Stamey.
Great heart.
Big shots.
Oh, what's the arm?
Is Randy Stamey going to steal this round?
Oh, boy.
He's
back in a full guard. He's in full guard. He's all right now. All he needs to do right now is not do anything wild. Just stay in there, get back down, push on his hips. Nice elbow.
Another big shot.
2, 3 punches right there, right in front of us.
Can Boyle hang on this time?
What's the triangle? Watch him go for the omoplata here, too, or the go-go plata even.
They separate. Final 10 seconds.
Dang.
Stamey trying to squeeze a shot in.
Yeah, wow. Good punches there.
And we are through round 2.
And again, I knew up until a minute out that this was going to be Tim Boyle's round. Now I don't know. I don't know if he stole it. In my opinion, it could be tied up or it could be either way. Who knows?
You said a good point. Last time I picked Tim, you picked Randy. This time I'm picking Randy, and I say you're probably picking. But you got to think, he was on. Judges seem to forget what happened in the first part of the round. We saw Tim on top probably 2.5 minutes of the round and even mounted him at one point, and then Randy ends with a huge flurry there. So in my opinion, Randy took the, end of the round what scores for me.
Absolutely, and that's where, each corner may even be saying, guys, you got to finish this fight because you don't know if you're ahead or not.
And a good replay right here.
Yeah, let's take a look. And Randy was able to switch out of this position, but took some leather before that and some elbows as well. Stamey, though, you thought Primetime did a pretty good job of not taking as many shots as he could have.
Yeah, he was controlling the biceps, and it's something I don't like to do when I'm in mount. But I like to get on the hips and try to get them off of me as quickly as I can. But Randy, you can tell. Look at Tim; he's bleeding, and Randy wasn't at the end of the round there. So it just goes to show. Start of round 3.
Here we go. Third and final round 3, 5-minute rounds, all pro. bouts here. Valor Fights 23 at the Smoky Mountain Convention Center. And the first kick again is from Boyle.
Good little flurry to start the round there from Boyle. Looking for a head kick there, Boyle is, I believe.
Stamey looking a little hesitant here. We'll take a circle, semicircle around.
You know, Randy Stamey's corner was telling him the whole time at the end of that round was finish, 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 finish. With 10 seconds left, it's going to be hard to sway the judge to finish that round. So he probably expelled a lot more gas than he should have there. He should just rode that round out and, you know, hit a few punches. And now he's going for a takedown of his own.
But, you know, Stamey seems a lot more energetic coming out in this round than Boyle does. I mean, he looks to be on fire. He looks better than he did in the first round.
For sure, yeah.
Randy Stamey out of the red corner. In our red corner tonight, brought to you by Hogs Upstairs Tavern, where our pre-show party was. And the blue corner with Tim Boyle, presented by Ogle, Elrod, and Burrill. Appreciate all the great sponsors helping put together Valor Fights 23.
That was a great time at Hogs.
Yeah, it was a great time at Hogs. But if I was in either one of these two, another good head kick. If I was in either one of these two corners in between rounds, I'm telling them both that you could be down 2 rounds and you need to get a finish because we don't know how the judges are going to score this.
Unbelievable. Oh, big right hand by Tim Boyle.
And a knee or a kick to the inside.
And the referee not going to give him the time.
They touched gloves there, show a little bit of respect for each other, saying that the blow could have been low.
Minute 30 through the third and final round. This fight could very well be in the balance.
Yes.
Oh,
good
wow.
Left.
Wow,
Right.
Stamey on the prowl here. Good shots. Controlling.
Oh, that body shot hurt Stamey. That little inside kick right there hurt Stamey. Stamey took a deep breath after that. Those are no fun to get hit with.
Unbelievable
boom.
ebbs and flows in this fight.
Beautiful slip there by Boyle.
Ooh, another good head kick.
That left head kick has been very effective.
Stamey needs to throw that kick hard as he can to the body. Tim Boyle is blocking that thing with his right hand up high every time, avoiding the head kick, and Stamey, the body's right open. That's a liver. That's where the liver's at right there.
And I'll say this fight looks extremely close if you're watching from a technical aspect, but if you watch their body language, Stamey looks so more fresh. He's on his toes, he's moving more, and that may affect the judges here if it's that close.
Well. And Boyle's coming forward now a little bit, though, too. So, like I said, Randy can't spend the rest of his time on the cage if he wants to win this fight.
Oh, nice elbow right there.
That's a brutal.
Wow, that was 2 of them.
People hit the switch. What a beautiful switch by Randy Stamey.
Oh, I think that busted him open
did.
right
He's
there.
cut bad.
Yes, Boyle is bleeding.
He's leaking
on the
right
bottom.
there. He's
People
leaking.
don't understand how those subtle little elbows count, but they can be a game changer.
And
Look, that's about a 3-inch cut above his ear right there. I can see it from here.
Yeah, there's a couple actually of cuts.
Well, Tim Boyle's got 2 minutes to survive it right here.
Randy's got to sprawl out and get an underhook with his right arm. He's going to get taken down himself right here. He needs to get an underhook with his right hand. Right hand underhook right here is what Stamey needs.
Stamey on top, Boyle on the bottom.
Oh, Boyle just sort of covering up. He can't do that. If he does that, this fight's going to be done. Stamey right here, in my opinion, needs to open up. If he does, he can end this fight.
If Stamey would just kick that right leg back and he could take his back or land some big shots here, either one. Oh,
that's it.
nasty
There it goes.
elbows. Oh, wait, what's the takedown?
And big props.
Yeah, Tim.
Big
Get up,
props
man.
for jumping back up like that.
37 years of age and still out here trading.
I'm 37 years old.
Exactly.
And I'm not trading, so you're right.
Exactly.
The cardio's there, though. And this fight, again, still in the balance.
It's still, once again, I mean, you had Randy landing them elbows, but you've got Tim, doing this pressure the whole time, like I said. In my opinion, Stamey's losing right now, and now he's trying to turn off the cage and still not doing it. He's got to get an underhook. He needs to turn to his left side right here is what I'm saying.
Can Adam, the blood, affect the judges?
Of course,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Damage is part of this game, for sure.
You judge with so many things. I mean, and every judge is judged differently. Just like you heard mine and Casey's first round was judged differently. That's the same way these guys right here doing. They're doing different aspects of the game, what they think happened.
Absolutely. And the judges sit in 3 different areas around the cage, so everybody sees something different.
Standing making a good run right here, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Final 35 seconds of the third and final round.
good right
Who
hand.
is going to close this third round out and maybe win this fight?
Anybody's fight right here. 30 seconds are going to decide it.
Stamey needs to back off and bang. Back off and bang. He don't need to get taken down right here. If he was to get taken down, that'd be look bad on him at the very end of this round. And a good little trip from Randy.
Look at this, going after the ankle.
Watch the arm bar too.
10 seconds. Not going to be time unless a big elbow can rain down. Sneaks a couple lefts in, and that's the end of the fight.
Wow, tremendous tremendous fight to kick off this card.
Look at the sportsmanship. Randy Stamey helping up Tim Boyle. You talk about a fantastic way to start this out. At 155 pounds, this lightweight bout, those two laid it out, exchanged unbelievable flows of momentum. Adam, who would you give the fight to? Well, the third round and then the fight overall.
Well, the second and third round, like I said, went to Randy. So, I mean, that's 2 rounds to 1 for me. Showing a little bit of replay action here, too, with some of the exchanges. They had good exchanges, Vince. It wasn't like, Randy was just dominating the entire time. It was everybody was doing a very, very good job of doing what they wanted to do in the particular aspects of the fight.
Just when it looked like someone had the advantage or someone else stunned, the guys were able to reverse it.
Yeah, and Randy Stamey's up there acting like he's won, and I can agree too. But man, I tell you, man, you never want to leave this sport in the hands of the judges. It's an awful thing to do. So we'll see.
Wow,
very good way to kick off the card, though, was it not?
A lot to live up to the rest of the night.
Three-round war. But everybody likes to see the knockouts too. So let's see some good knockouts tonight as well.
Yeah, all pro bouts here tonight at Valor Fights 23 at the Smoky Mountain Convention Center in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. There you see Tim Boyle, who laid it out tonight. Casey Oxendine made his way into the cage, and we are going to go to the scorecards and see who won our first of 9 pro bouts. Back to the cage, and our cage announcer, Cody Gwynn, for our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges scored this bout the same, 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, the real deal, Randy Stamey.
The first pro win for the real deal, Randy Stamey, as all 3 judges scored the bout in Randy Stamey's favor, and Randy Stamey moves to 1-2, defeating Tim Boyle, who laid it all out. An unbelievable effort by Tim Boyle's 0-2. Casey Oxendine now in the cage with our winner, Randy Stamey.
All right, I'm here with your winner, the real deal, Randy Stamey, with his first pro win of his career. Brother, what a battle you brought. Veteran Tim Boyle, talk about the action of this fight.
Well, Tim's tough. I hit him with some real good shots. I thought I had him there in the first, but he's super tough, and he came out in the second round and about knocked me out. Busted my lip real good, got me bleeding, but that just fired me up. I wanted to come in. I'm sick of being mediocre. I'm sick of it. I want to be, when you talk about the top fighters in this area, I want Randy Stamey to be in that conversation. So it's time to start running through people, start getting some wins, and start building up that reputation to go to the next level.
Tim Boyle is known for his grappling pedigree. This is a guy that's been around for a long time, raised up in the IMB Academy. But when you hit the ground, you handled yourself very well, even getting a reversal. Was that something in your training that you had to take close attention to?
Well, my skill in my jiu-jitsu's always been there. It's just I haven't had the strength to back up that skill. So this time I started a weight regimen 3 times a week, and I really think it made the difference in this fight. I felt real strong, was able to get him off the top of me and keep him off. So I'm very proud about that. Very proud of the win. Can I go ahead and do my thanks?
Go ahead and give it to him.
First off, I want to thank my wife, Shannon. She puts up with so much, and my kids. They sacrifice just as much as I do to do this sport. I want to thank my team, Coach Massey, Coach Edwards, Coach Rutledge, Lou with Complete Fighter, all my sponsors, Quaker Steak and Lube, Thompson's Metal, who else? Team Sport Outfitters, turn around. Direct Paintless Dent Repair, and Iron Mayhem Strength and Conditioning in Bristol, Tennessee. Thank y'all all for supporting me. Thank y'all for coming out, and I hope I put on a show for you guys.
Everybody, let's hear it for the real deal!